Hey Book Dragons, welcome back to my channel. Glad you could be with me today. We are talking about my top favorite books of 2021. Let's get right to it. So I read some amazing books in 2021, and yeah, there were a few duds as well, but overall just I had a phenomenal year of reading, and I'm so excited to tell you all about it. You may have noticed that I labeled this my top 8 favorite reads of 2021, and that's not a mistake. It's intentional. You may ask, well, Chaz, why not a top 10 or why not a top 5 even? Because I'm different. And that's just how I roll. So I'm doing a top 8 with an honorable mention, which we are going to get to right now. And that would be the Sandman graphic novel series by Neil Gaiman. This is a fantastic series. I completed the original arc of the Sandman series last year, excluding Sandman Overture, which actually came out 10 years after, or roughly 10 years after the original series, and it's more of a prequel, so I haven't read that yet, but I did complete the original arc, and I have to tell you guys, it is phenomenal. The reason I'm doing an honorable mention for it is because it's a series, it's not just a book, so I'm enamored with Sandman, and I'm so excited for the adaptation coming out. I can't wait to see what Netflix does with it. And I can't say enough good about this series. If you like graphic novels and you like fantasy and you like just weird, off-the-wall stories, you need to read Sandman. It is just fantastic. So that is my honorable mention. Now let's get into my top 8 reads of 2021. And we are going to start with Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Salem's Lot was a big surprise for me. I've kind of been in a weird place with Stephen King. I really like the Dark Tower series. I didn't like it so much. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great. Pun intended, I guess. And I don't know. I just wasn't sure what to expect going into Salem's Lot. I knew a few things about it. I knew it's kind of a vampire story and things like that. But I have to tell you guys, Salem's Lot is my favorite Stephen King book so far. And that's saying a lot because I love The Dark Tower, as I mentioned. But Salem's Lot is my favorite Stephen King book that I have read. Granted, I'm not what might qualify as a constant reader because I haven't read all of his stuff. So I'm working my way slowly through Stephen King. But Salem's Lot made my number 8 slot for 2021. And in the number 7 slot, we have another Stephen King book, and that is Wizard and Glass. It is book 4 of the Dark Tower series, and oh my goodness, guys, it is my favorite Dark Tower book so far. It just has a huge epic story. I love getting background on Roland, on the gunslinger, and you know, getting to learn more about the gunslinger mythos and their background, and it is just such a great book, and I can't wait to read more on the Dark Tower. But yeah, Wizard and Glass made my number 7 slot. Hey guys, I just realized this morning, now that I've had more sleep, that when I was doing my ranking, I put Salem's Lot in the number 8 slot and Dark Tower Book 4, Wizard and Glass, in the number 7 slot, even though I said that Salem's Lot is my favorite Stephen King book of all time, at least so far. And so you would think I would rank it higher than Wizard and Glass, but I didn't. That's sleep-deprived Chaz talking. So just ignore me, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video. Coming in at number 6 is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This was such a warm and cozy read, full of love and captivating characters and just heartwarming moments. Oh, I love this book so much, and easily one of my favorite reads, and that's why it's coming in at number 6. So I highly recommend it, guys. Make sure you read it. And then coming in at number 5 is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This book was such a great read. I love how Catherine Arden wove a unique fantasy tale out of Russian folklore, and oh gosh, it was just amazing. The character work was spot on, and you know I love my characters, and the fantastical creatures were so cool, and the whole mythos and world that was built in the book, just great. So The Bear and the Nightingale takes my number 5 slot. Coming in at number 4 would be Guards by Terry Pratchett. This is the first book in the City Watch sequence in the Discworld universe. And I had so many people telling me that I need to read Guards. I've seen tons of videos about it, and I finally read it, and I'm so glad I did. I was laughing all the time. It was such a funny read, and just that the characters are so memorable. They've all got their really adorable quirks, and just, oh my goodness. This story is such a highly recommended read from me. It's a short read too, so if you're looking for a good short book that will kind of cleanse your palate, so to speak, Guards is it, guys, and that comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. You all know I love Neil Gaiman, my favorite author of all time, and he's woven yet another great, unique, and fun story with this. This follows a character named Bod, whose full name is Nobody, and he's called Nobody because he was discovered as a baby by the ghosts in the graveyard, and they didn't know what to call him, and so they just named him Nobody and called him Bod for short, and the ghosts in the graveyard raised him and taught him some of their special talents as he grew older. Just a really odd and off-the-wall book, but it is so endearing and it just works. I highly recommend this book to you guys, and that comes in at number 3. So, we are about to talk about my top 2 books of the year, starting with The Fall of Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is my number 2 book of the year. And boy, I absolutely love the Hyperion duology. It's a fantastic story. Had I known that they were so integral to each other, I would have read them back to back, because Hyperion and Fall of Hyperion complete a single arc. And so if I read it again, which I'm sure I will, I shouldn't say if, it's like when I read it again, I'm going to read it all together as one book. But I did read Hyperion in 2020, and I read Fall of Hyperion in 2021, and if it was possible for a story to get better with book 2, it did, and they're just so closely related. It's hard to separate them in terms of how I feel about them. But Fall of Hyperion was just a fantastic story. Lots of action moments, lots of suspense and intrigue, lots of heartbreaking moments, heart-wrenching moments. There were times I was just bawling my eyes out, and oh goodness, guys, Fall of Hyperion is a phenomenal work of fiction. Dare I say, a phenomenal work of literature. And that's what I've labeled Hyperion. I have labeled it literary sci-fi because it just has that extra step up. If you tend to distinguish fiction from literary fiction, if you make that distinction, then that distinction fits for Hyperion. It is just that sort of book. Oh gosh, the characters are so memorable, and I'm kind of at a loss for words as to how to tell you how much I like this book. So yeah, Hyperion, Fall of Hyperion, but Fall of Hyperion was my number 2 in 2021. And here we go. Are you guys ready? My top book of 2021. My most favorite read of the entire year is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is number 1 in my book. And it's a book. Go figure. The Starless Sea is so magical and powerful. It's endearing. There are times that you are just absolutely captivated by the story that's unfolding in this book. It follows Zachary Ezra Rollins as he goes on a journey of not only discovery but of self-discovery, and discovers an intricate web of a secret society that is centered around books, and he's on a journey to discover how he fits within not only his own world but within this society that is so committed to the enjoyment of books and of stories. Oh goodness, guys, it is just a magical read. I can't say enough good about it. You know, I'm repeating myself and gushing, but you know, I've done reviews for several of these. I've done reviews for Fall of Hyperion. I did a review for The Starless Sea. If you want to watch my review for The Starless Sea, I'll leave a link at the end of the video and in the description below. You can check that out. But gosh, no book in 2021 blew me away more than The Starless Sea. And I've said several times, this is a close contender for my number 2 favorite book of all time. Currently, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, same author, is my second favorite book of all time. This comes very close to unseating it, but for the sake of keeping it simple and stress-free for me, I'm just going to put it in my number 3 slot. It's my number 3 book of all time, but it is just it is such a close call between that and The Night Circus. Erin Morgenstern is my second favorite author of all time currently, and whew, and she's only got 2 books out, but that's how good her books are. Guys, read The Starless Sea if you have not already. That's it. That is my top 8 books with an honorable mention for 2021. Tell me in the comments below what your favorite reads of last year were. And I'd love to talk with you about them. Have you read some of these books that I outlined here? We can talk about those as well. And make sure that you are reading more books. I will talk to you later.